Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I have a kind of a fun DIY project. These are resurrection eggs. I had seen quite a bit of this on like Pinterest, a little bit on a couple YouTube channels that gave me some ideas. I did kind of the DIY version. I had seen some where you could buy them from different stores. And a lot of those I didn't really like that well. Some of them I thought looked kind of cheap, and so I thought I could make my own and it would be much more fun, and in the future maybe my daughter and I could make them together. I did make these for my daughter and we will be using them obviously this Easter, and you know, the Easter's to come until maybe she decides she wants to make her own maybe. So I know a lot of the ones that I have seen only had the 12 eggs, and I decided to go with 18. I thought there was kind of a couple more eggs that I wanted to involve. I saw people did kind of different versions of this, and so they didn't include all these eggs or they missed out on some of the stuff, and I wanted to kind of include everything. I thought it would be more fun and better for my daughter to be able to learn the entire story, and this would be a fun way to do it. Sorry about that, my cat has decided to try and join us here. So first I'll just show you, I have just an old styrofoam egg carton. What I did is I just used a piece of felt and glued it over all the words so that there are no words on here anymore. I plan on eventually writing on here, you know, something like resurrection eggs or Easter or something like that. And then I also put some of the felt on the inside here too, because there was a bunch of words on the inside here too. So, and it only took me one piece of felt, and so I was able to cover all of that and just use some craft glue. And then these eggs here are actually the eggs from the dollar store. I had originally bought some from Walmart, a 12-pack, because I originally was just going to do 12 eggs. And I got this pack, and after I already had this pack at home and I was going to be using them for something else, and I realized that the Dollar Tree eggs are actually bigger than the Walmart eggs, and I needed a little bit bigger eggs because some of the items that I'm putting in there I needed just that little bit more space. So you know, you can kind of experiment if you're going to do this yourself, which eggs work best for you. I think that the Dollar Tree eggs are actually a little bit more sturdy and they're slightly bigger. So I guess, you know, it's kind of up to you of what you want. Not that Walmarts are bad for the purpose of the plastic egg, but for this reason I wanted them to be a little bit more sturdy because my daughter's going to be opening them, you know, every time, you know, Easter rolls around and we use these. I want them to be sturdy enough that they're not breaking or anything. So let's go ahead and get into the eggs. Inside I will show you the object, and then I also have in there written the Bible verse that goes along with that object, so that you guys can kind of look it up and find it for yourself if you'd like. So the first egg, I have the donkey, and as it's just a sticker, and I put it on just a piece of paper so that it would fit in the egg. I actually found this as a sticker set at Hobby Lobby this last week, and I got the sticker set for only $1. It was actually a farm animals one, so the rest of the stickers my daughter can play with, and then I kept the donkey. This was actually the only donkey I could find, and it worked perfectly inside the egg. And with that, the Bible verse is Matthew 21, 1 through 11. And number 2 is the palm leaves. These are actually leaves from some flowers that we use for another project, and I just kind of cut them off. These ones actually I thought looked the most like palm branches because they were already kind of cut and feathered, so I just took 2 of them and put them inside the egg. And the Bible verse to go along with that one is Matthew 21, 1 through 9. And number 3 is the 3 coins when Jesus was being betrayed. It was for 3 silver coins, which actually in real amount was $52.80, but I just put in 3 dimes because they were 3 silver coins. And the verse for that is Matthew 26:14 through 16. The number 4 is a cotton ball, and this actually has perfume on it. They use this with Jesus, and actually what I did is I just put some perfume on it and then let it dry, so then it does actually smell right now, only when you open the egg. And the Bible verse is John 12:3. And the number 5 is a chalice. Again, this is another sticker that I found at Hobby Lobby. It actually came on a set with a Bible and some other stuff, so I'll be using those for something else maybe. And I just put this on a piece of paper and cut around it. And that is the chalice with the wine. And then I got these little loaves of bread at Hobby Lobby too. I used a coupon and got them for $1. So it was 2 sets. These were in the mini dollhouse area, and I just used a coupon, got those, and I just put both in, so because I didn't really have a use for the other one right now. And the Bible verse for that one is Matthew 26:26 and 27. The number 6 is the praying hands. This is when Jesus is in the garden praying. I just looked at a picture online and drew this because I didn't want to get my printer up and running and print out just a couple little pictures, so I decided just to draw some of the objects I couldn't find. I was looking for some sort of little pendant like this somewhere, but I couldn't find it, so I just drew it. It's praying hands, and then I just put some laminating paper over the top of it so that it's sturdier when we use it. And the Bible verse for that is Matthew 26:36. The number 7 is a dagger, and this is when Jesus was being hit and prodded by the people there right before he was being captured. And I used just a piece of stick that I found outside and some tin foil. I had bought a dagger that I found at Hobby Lobby on clearance, but it happened to be too big for the eggs, and so I am going to return that. And I just used a stick with some tin foil, and it does the trick, I think. I mean, it looks a little funky, but it still looks like a dagger, I think. So that is the dagger. And the Bible verse for that is Matthew 26:47. The number 8 is three feathers. I originally was going to put the rooster in here, and the rooster that my daughter had was too big for the egg, so I decided to go with some feathers. We have feathers for other projects, and I put in 3 because Jesus was betrayed 3 times. I guess you wouldn't have to do that. I just thought it would help us to remember, and for my daughter to learn that it was 3 times by having 3 feathers in there. And the Bible verses for that are Matthew 26:33 through 35, and then 74 and 75. Number 9 is a whip. I actually just used some rope that I had and just knotted the 2 ends and kind of weaved it around to make it look like a little whip. This is actually just some twine from the Dollar Tree that I have for a lot of other projects, so I just cut a little chunk of that, put that in there, and that is when Jesus is being whipped by the people. And the Bible verse for that is Matthew 27:26. The number 10 is the crown of thorns, which again, I drew this. I just looked at a picture online and tried to draw something. I guess I could have colored it, but that's alright. And then the scarlet robe. This is when Jesus was being mocked in front of all the people. They put a scarlet robe on him and the crown of thorns. So what I did is I just used that little piece of red felt I had, cut out a little, what looked like a scarlet robe, and tied a little thing around the middle to make it kind of look like a robe. And then I drew the crown of thorns. And the Bible verse for that is Matthew 27, 28, and 29, and then Mark 15, 17. The number 11 is the cross and nails. I was looking for a small cross and I couldn't really find one that I thought would work for here, and I didn't want to spend a ton of money on something that was just going to be sitting in here all year. So what I did is I used a stick from outside and some of that twine and made my own cross, a small enough one that would fit in the egg. And then obviously we already had these nails at our house, so I just put a couple nails in there. And that is insignificant to when Jesus was put on the cross. The Bible verse for that is Matthew 27, 35 through 37, and John 19, 17 through 20. The number 12 egg is the sponge and vinegar. I see my paper got a little funny in here. I actually put vinegar on a little chunk of sponge and just wrung it out. Now I gotta let that dry actually. And that is when they put the vinegar on the sponge to quench the thirst of Jesus while he was on the cross. And the Bible verse for that is Matthew 27, 48 and John 19, 28 through 30. I'll let that one dry a little bit. The next one is number 13, and that is white linen. This is what they wrapped Jesus' body in when they took him off the cross. And I actually had white linen for a couple other projects because I have tons of fabric. So I just cut a little chunk and rolled it up and put it in the egg. And the Bible verse for that is Matthew 27, 58 and 59. And number 14 is the stone, and this stone is the significant of the stone that was rolled in front of the tomb where Jesus' body was laid. I had these stones. This is actually one from the Dollar Tree. I had it in a huge pack that I've used for other projects. I did find some stones outside that I thought I was going to use, and then they didn't really work, so I like this one because it was nice and smooth, so if my daughter does play with it, has any sharp edges. And the Bible verse to go along with that one is Matthew 27, 60 through 66. The number 15 is the spices. In here I actually put some real spices. I went to our local health food store where you can buy in bulk and just buy whatever size you need. You don't have to buy a whole bottle of something. So I got a couple leaves of bay leaf. I got a cinnamon stick that I just broke in half. And then I got some cloves, which are inside there. And for all that, it cost me like 10 cents. But those were some of the spices that were used by the women when they were trying to anoint Jesus. And the Bible verse for that is Mark 16:1. And number 16 is the angel. Again, I drew this. I really thought I would find a sticker or something at Hobby Lobby of an angel, and I found some, and I thought they were just really not what I was looking for. So I just tried to draw a plain angel for this project, and I wrote on there angel so that my daughter will know. And I just put a little bit color on the halo just to make it more obvious that it is an angel. And this signifies the angel that came out when they opened the tomb. And the Bible verses to go along with that are Matthew 28, 1 through 2, and Mark 16, 5 and 6. And again, this is a piece of paper that I laminated so that it will be good for the future for us to use. And number 17, oops, you can't quite see that one, is a fish. Again, this is one of my daughter's little toys, so that was an easy one. That signifies the meal that Jesus had after he rose during those 40 days. And the Bible verse to go along with that is Luke 24:42. And last but not least, number 18. And number 18 is empty. This signifies Jesus being up in heaven and going to be coming back to earth, and so we leave that space open. So I hope you guys enjoyed this here. You can always change these around a little bit. You don't have to do 18, you can do 12, you can do 6, however many you think it takes to tell the story. How you know, what you want to tell your children, depending on their ages and stuff, I guess, you know, that can change what you want your children to hear, know, or what you think they might understand. I decided to go with 18 for one thing because I already had this container and all the eggs. Plus, after seeing videos and things like on Pinterest, I saw that some people were taking out specific things from the story and leaving out other things, and I really wanted my daughter to know the entire story, and I thought by having the 18, it actually gives a little bit more in-depth of the entire process through Easter, the entire process of Jesus being crucified, and I thought it would be better for her so she learns the whole story from the start. And this is a good way because there's objects, things for her to look and see, and I also wrote down the Bible verse in each egg on a piece of paper so that we can always reference back to that when we do go over the story. So, this video is getting quite long, so I'm going to get going, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it gives you some fun ideas to do with your children, and like I said, you can always change a lot of these things. You can draw all the pictures, you can print pictures off, you don't have to use objects. You can kind of do it however you want, use objects you have at your house, but I do hope it gives you some fun ideas, and we will see you next time.